tweet it out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Happy Monday. So the market had a little bit of a case of the Mondays today. All right. And we'll take a look at that here in a moment. This week, we're going to be talking about an interesting concept called... All right. And Reed, what's going on? You can hear me. That's awesome. This week, we're going to be talking about a strategy, really just kind of a topic here called market profile. And today we're going to be talking about day trading market profile basics. We're just kind of go over it. You may have seen these charts out there before. It's like, oh, these things all just... How do people read this stuff? All these kind of gobbledygooky, type ranges and all that stuff. So we're going to talk about that today, how to generate that in Thinkorswim. And I think you guys will find it interesting. So it gives us some levels to trade against. And for Bubble Report subscribers out there who are not part of the Elite Access Group, every morning in the Bubble Report we put together a game plan on the S&P futures based on market profile, right? Because futures traders love using this stuff. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off the market today, and then we'll take a look at the futures, see what they're up to or down to here this evening, and what maybe setting up going into tomorrow. And then we'll go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. But let me get the SPX pulled up here real quick. I had the S&P futures up. All right, let's get started. All right, so SPX ended up being down 25 points today. And it ended up being kind of a choppy session, right? You can see that here on the weekly chart. Monthly chart still holding pretty strong above the upper Bollinger Band. Weekly chart, kind of this inside week so far. Harami, week just got started. We had this really big engulfing candle last week, and we're going to see if we can push up on that. Daily chart here, you can see our wave count. We have this 1, 2, 1, 2. Then we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, which we talked about last night. We were expecting a little bit of a wave 4 pullback. That's what we got pretty much here today. So let's see how that holds. If we break out the inside day high, we might see a good strong push up to the top of the channel to finish that impulsive wave. And then we'll go from there and see how it goes. So let's take a look at the intraday price action here. So again, here you can see the choppy action here off of this kind of wave 4-ish type price action, A, B, C potential move. It really is tough, right? Because there was there's no real true breakouts, right? No real continuation, right? You can see here we get a good breakout candle here, a little bit of upside movement, and then a fast, inside 15 down to bring us back to the 15 orb. Not really a bounce off of it, just kind of choppy stuff. So today was a really great day to focus on sectors, right? It got us in sectors that had some relative strength. Right, so for instance, oil names were really strong today, and banks were strong today. There's a couple other ones, the pot sector and some of the battery names were strong as well. Here's a look at the levels that we provide to our members for each market open, right? So you can see we're just kind of chopping around these levels right here. Basically, got to a volumetric level right here, which we'll probably touch on a little bit more this week with the market profile, and saw a little bit of a move down here, another upper shadow here, a little reversal doji off of that volumetric low, and then a push down. But again, nothing really major today. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. Okay, so you can see here we have a lot of these levels, right, that we use. A lot of these levels we get from our market profile. This is for our group. But they make very, very good levels, right? So yesterday, we'll talk about point of control today, I believe. And so you can see right here, this point of control, right, that was a volumetric level. And you can see right here, this point of control is very important, right? And so when we couldn't get above the point of control, we saw a nice drop down. Okay, and so good stuff there. So right now we're just kind of chopping around into the evening, so we'll see how it goes going into tomorrow, and into tomorrow morning. So we've got a couple geometric lines here that we're going to keep an eye on. Looks a little bit like a triangle going into tomorrow, so we'll see how that holds going through the rest of the night and into tomorrow. So good stuff. So let's talk about market profile. So again, like I said, this week we're going to be talking about day trading market profile basics. So really the question is about the basics. What is market profile? So all market profile is a way of organizing data, right? It's a little bit different, right, than looking at candlesticks. Right, because everything is clumped together. So what it does is it uses time, right? So it uses time and it uses value, right? And how does it find value? Well, it finds value by where price spends the most time, right? So it makes sense, right? If a good example is if your iPhone, right, is $1,000 and it spends a lot of time being $1,000, that's where people see the most value on it, right? So if the price goes below, let's just kind of look at right here. If the price goes below that value, right? Well, chances are that's a good deal, so they want to buy it up, so it comes back to the value range. And sometimes it gets higher than it. That's where selling starts to come in, right? So these volume profiles, these market profiles, start to take a shape, right? It starts to take a balance, and what they do is they take a balance of basically a standard deviation type move. They start to form a bell-shaped curve. So let's take a look at it. So how do we come up with a market profile in Thinkorswim? Well, it's not as easy. There's some other software that's out there that makes it a little bit easier. But one of the things that we can do is we can go here to the, let's turn this into a 30-minute chart. I'm just going to go a 10-day, 30-minute chart. And what we can do is in Thinkorswim is they've got a little tool here called the monkey bars. Okay, so to get there, all we do is we go to the settings tool right here, and it pops up, and you can see, let me see if I can get this pulled up here for you guys. One sec. Here, and let's see, we've got, this thing is called, give me one second, I'm trying to find it here. This would be Thinkorswim. It's tough to find this stuff. I'm trying to read through text here to try to find the pop-up on this. Give me one second. It is maybe this. Nope, that's a chart. Let's get rid of that. So this thing, the title of this thing is called chart settings. So let me find that. Give me one sec. Chart set. There we go. All right. So you can see here, right? All you do is you go to chart settings, and then you go to appearance, and you can see right here. Okay, good. So you can see that. So you go to appearance, and instead of chart mode standard, which is standard candlesticks, you switch it to monkey bars. Okay, and it goes like this. And a lot of times I like to just go, tick size there. It makes it a little bit easier, and it shows you some value areas. You don't have to show volume on here, and in fact, I'll keep it on there just to kind of simplify things. And we go like that. And so we kind of zoom over right here, and then voila, we've got our market profile. Now, this stuff on the left right here, all this gray area stuff, is volume. Okay, so let me get that. Let me remove that right there. So all this stuff on the left-hand side is volume. All this stuff on the right-hand side is, these are called Tpos. Okay, so it's really hard to see, right? You really have to zoom in. But what it is all it does is it puts a number one. A lot of different systems label it differently. Some of them start with A, some of them start with B, right? So Thinkorswim starts it with 1, right? And so this is basically based on the 30-minute time frame. And so what we look for is, give me one second. All right, so what we look for is, let me make sure I have this pulled up correctly here. There we go. So basically looking at the 30-minute time frame here intraday, right? So and then here, give me one second. Alpha appearance, tick size. I might just go automatic on this, make it a little bit easier. No, it's getting a little too zoomed out here. Sorry, guys. One second. 10-minute here. Appearance. I'm just going to go tick size on this, makes it easier, and just kind of go from there. Okay, so the idea is what this does is it shows how much time has been sent, and this is the after hours levels, but this is your intraday, right? So what it does is it shows you how many 30-minute candles, how long it's spent in that time frame, right? So this is your after hours data right here, but here's your pre-market data. So what we do is, right, we have to start somewhere, right? So I believe this one starts at 0, right, and then it goes to 1, and then it goes to 2 and 3. So all it does is categorize the amount of time you've spent in an area and that price range. So the easiest way to describe this is to actually go to appearance, and instead of go to monkey bars expanded, and you'll start to see this a little bit easier. Okay, let's go here and here. All right, this is clear as crystal, right? So this is the after hours level. Let's go to today here. Wait, hold on. Let's make it a little bit challenging right here. All right, where's our 9:30? There we go. Here's our intraday. I'm just going to switch over to like something easy. Let me take off extended hours on this thing, so it's not showing here. Probably easier to do something like Apple. Okay, so it's easier with Apple. There we go. So here's today's market profile on Apple. Okay, so you can see we spent the first 30 minutes of the day. It started with 1 right here. The first 30 minutes of the day spent its time here. We opened here, right? We spent time here, here, and here. This is where that first 30-minute candle spent its time, right? The second 30-minute candle spent its way here, right? So you can start to see this on your candlestick chart that things started to push up a little bit, right? And then the next 30-minute candle spent its time here, right? And the next one spent its time here, right? So it spent all its time in this range. See how tight it was in there? And then the next one spent its time here, here, here. You can see how tight it was. There's only 2 in this case on the 9, and then it starts at 0, goes to 10, right? And then 11, 12, 13. So you can see here there was a lot of 1s right here. That means there was a big range at the open compared to here, right? So if I switch back and we go to appearance and we go back to standard, right? You'll start to see this. Okay, so if I turn it into the candles, notice this first candle right here is your first 30-minute candle. This is your second 30-minute candle. You'll see this here in a second. Okay. There it is. Okay, see that? Okay, so here's today's candles right here. So here's your first 30-minute candle. Here's your second 30-minute candle. So all it does is it takes where it spent time, right, at each price level. So this is, remember, this was 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then it was 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, right? And then a couple little small candles right there. So if we go back to appearance here and go back to monkey bars expanded, you can see again, it was, nice, right? Remember, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, that's your first 30-minute candle. This is your second 30-minute, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, right? So that was that, right? We got a little bit choppy here at the end of the day. Okay, so it just takes that. It labels your 30-minute candles. Now that's the expanded version of it, but this is a little bit harder to read. So what we do is we consolidate it to, right, just monkey bars regular, and all it does is it scrunches it all together. Sorry, it doesn't like to center it here. It just scrunches it all back together. And this is Apple. We need the 10-day, 30-minute chart here. It's making it really easy, right? Appearance. Right, so there we go. So it takes it all and it scrunches it all back together. Right, so here you go. So here's your 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Whoa, look at that. At the second 30-minute candle actually pushed above these levels, right? It went 2, 2, right? And then it started to get into this price range right here. So it scrunches it all together and keeps it evened out. So the amount of, this represents the amount of time that it spent. Each one of these represents the amount of time that it spent at certain price ranges. So what does this tell us? Right, well, it gives us an idea of value, right? A little bit different. It's just a way of organizing. Instead of looking at all the candles and the way price moves, geometrically, this kind of pushes it all together and gives us a way to look at the market in an interesting way, right? It allows us to organize the data. It allows us to evaluate it a little bit differently than just looking at candlesticks, right? So what we can start to see is that the amount of time, right, that it spent, wherever it spent the most time, becomes the area of value of interest, right? So this is called essentially your point of control, right? So based on time. And so you can see here, this is where it spent the most time. So this is kind of the most relevant level of the day going into the next day. And you can see it starts to do that every day, right? So what happened here, right? Well, we had this day on the 7th, right? This was your point of control right here. But notice how we kind of spent a little time down there, right? And then we worked our way up, and then we kind of finished our day back down here. So price pushed above that point of control, right, where it spent the most time. And like we said, this is where it found value, where it spent the most time at, right? And then it worked its way above the next day and it pushed really high, but then it didn't want to spend its time up there, right? Because like we said, like the iPhone, right? Well, it's really expensive. I can sell it for $1,500. Let me sell it, right? So when you start to get extended over the point of control, it likes to come back. It likes to do reversion to the mean. It likes to form like a bell-shaped curve, right? So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 came all the way back down to the point of control. And then it spent a little time down here, 3, 3, 3, 3. It wanted to test up again. And then it was like, no, 4, 4, 4, we'll go back down to the value area, right? And then it was like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, we're going to try again. And then no, it couldn't get to the highs of the day, and then back down again. And then eventually it's like, okay, well, at the end of the day, market participants found a value a little bit higher than it was here, and they spent more time at this level, and this becomes your new point of control for the new day, right? Until the market makers switch a new day, and we start to test these levels. So that really is the basics of market profile. It's just a way of organizing data. The 30-minute chart is a pretty standard one as we talk a little bit more about futures this week. The 30-minute chart is pretty standard that futures traders like to use. It gives us a lot of great levels and to trade against. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that this week, but I just kind of wanted to go over that with you so you can understand what these charts mean. And all it is essentially the number one here, if you're on a 30-minute chart, is is where price went in that first 30 minutes. So 11111, right? And then 22, pushed up a little bit, and then came back down 22222, right, into this range. So once it crosses back over that path, it starts to expand, and the more time it spends in a level becomes the point of control. So good stuff. So that's market profile in a nutshell. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. And at this point now, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all have a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So yeah, this is a candlestick chart right here, back to normal, right? And good stuff. So let's see what we got. What do we got out there? So good. So Reed, again, thanks for tuning in, man. Mikey, what's going on? Good to see you. Glad you made it. So this is a pretty cool topic. This is a little kind of advanced, but it's a really good one. And like I said, we use it in the bubble report each morning when we evaluate futures using market profile. It really gives us a lot of key levels what market participants are looking at to trade against. So it's very, very helpful with that. So good stuff. Crane, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Let's take a look and see what we got. So let's see. So you've got So you got CRSR. Let's take a look. Let's go to the daily chart. I'm gonna scrunch this up a little bit here so I can see your guys' requests and questions here. All right, good stuff. All right, so let's take a look. So you got CRSR. Let's take a look. So CRSR, Corsair Gaming, yeah, a bit of an upper shadow there today. Again, this thing's getting really, really tight, right? So it kind of came back up to this this geometric line here today. And tried to break out and just kind of failed there. So at this point now, it kind of forms another geometric line off of that. So let's see if we can break above there. TMO, again, that was epic with the channel breakout a while ago. TMO finally did it, right? So we were talking about it several times, right? 1, 2, right? The rules of 3, right? It finally started to break out right here. You got a good breakout candle on this one, and it started to go, right? So that was a nice move off of those geometric lines, and now we got the inside day on TMO. Fiverr, let's take a look. Fiverr holding the ADMA on this one. Nice little kind of engulfing candle on that one with fresh highs on Fiverr. CRWD. Again, recent breakout, right? So recent breakout move right here, pullback. Started to get strong again, gave a little bit of a push and got a little bit of follow through there, holding the ADMA on that one. TTD. TTD with an inside day today below the ADMA, so a little bit rough there on TTD. BLNK. Yeah, so BLNK, guys, again, these charging names, battery names, I mean, it's like the new FANG, right? This is one of the stronger sectors today, and gave a nice push there on BLNK. GRWG, let's take a look. Yeah, Grug, again, like we said, the pod sector was strong today, and Grug was one of the strongest names in that sector. Let's see if we can get any follow-through on that. Lemonade, again, still getting some great follow-through off of that triangle breakout. Again, huge moves on Lemonade. And again, they sell insurance, not lemonade, by the way. Exit. So again, tried to push over this pivot level, gave a nice little push there today, and then this morning, and then kind of pulled back, kind of chopping around right there. So kind of see how that holds, kind of a nasty upper shadow right there. Nvidia, again, essentially tried to make a breakout move here today. We got multiple geometric lines on this one. It tried to give another breakout of there as well. Again, at this point here, it's given us a fresh geometric line. So a little bit tricky there on Nvidia. We've been waiting for it to break out. It's just been doing it in such an awful way. Zebra, yeah, nice move on this one. Nice bullish candle on this. So let's see if that gets any follow through. I like how it's above the rising ADMA. And then SPLK, let's take a look. So SPLK, okay, yeah. So Splunk, remember it had that big gap down and then it had that breakout out of the range and got to follow through the upside. Now it's starting to come back to the range again and hold it as support. We'd like to see a little more volume on it, but it looks like it's trying. Let's see if we can get and stay above the ADMA on that one. Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. The Nest. Let's take a look at Disney. Yeah, so Disney getting tight again, right? So Mando's off the air, right? So it's they finished their season on that one. So again, could be forming a little bit of a pennant right here at the ADMA. So see how that holds on Disney. And Quality, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Krishna, what's happening? We got Car. Let's take a look. Yeah, so Car again, Carrier Global, nice. Good engulfing candle there today. Nice bounce off the ADMA. Fubo. Fubo with an inside day here, upper shadow off the ADMA on this one. So this thing's still struggling, right? So this is kind of starting to look like a little bit of a bear flag in the formation right here. So just kind of see how it holds. See how it holds these geometric levels. It tries to break down. Otherwise, see if it holds the cloud of support on that one. DKNG. This one was on our bullish radar this morning. We had on the bullish game plan for our group today. It was in the bubble report this morning. Gave a nice dip by this morning off of the cloud, right? And just held its levels right here and gave a really, really nice push to the upside. So nice stuff there on DKNG. INSG. Yeah, this is one we've been looking at too. So, another kind of name. It had a decent close on Friday, but just couldn't hold, right? So, so at this point here, one of the things that we like to look at, that we want to look at, is the inside day to see how it handles those levels. So good stuff on that. Let's see, a little bit weak on that right now still. And then Sono. Wow, that one looks just like the like car that we looked at a little bit earlier. Yeah, nice candle on that one too. So again, with fresh highs on Sono. Let's see if I can get any continuation on that one. Dan, thanks for the thumbs up. Really appreciate it. VXF. Let's see what Vanguard Securities Market Extended Market ETF. Yeah, inside day on that one too. Good stuff. Mookie, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Boeing 210 gap fill. Yeah. So it was trying to go for it here today. We got a closing gap right up there, so let's see if we can try to push its way up here. ADMA, possible testing. Yeah, we've been talking about this ABC. We talked about it last night. Really gave us some good follow-through into the open here this morning with a gap, with a nice gap down. Held this level right here as support, right, and then started to reverse. So it's basically the 50-day moving average in the cloud. Got to hold here. And then Fubo we just looked at. Again, still kind of looking bear flaggish on that one. And then PLTR. PLTR hanging in there. I'm almost confident on this one that it's getting ready to move, right? So I like how it kind of curled over up here. I like the decent strength today. I would like to have seen a little more volume on it. Would have been nice, but it could be gearing up for another move. It could be done with the ABC, right? You can kind of count A, B, C. Otherwise, like we talked about yesterday, it could be triangulating too. So we got that going on. So it's getting really tight in this range right now. So we'll see. Look for impulsive action tomorrow. It could be interesting. And then net. Net, yeah, a little kind of a nasty close there below the EDMA on that one. So Creighton, is a topic you talked today here similar to volume shelves? That's actually displayed on the right-hand side of TrendSpider chart. It seems very similar. It is very similar, right? So the stuff on the left-hand side is your volume profile. And you can configure that here. We've done some series on volume profile before. I mean, it's really easy to pull up right here. I mean, just go edit studies and just type in volume profile. Right? And then I think the default method right here is it puts it, I have mine overlapping it. But you can, like, I think for most people, the default is on expansion, no, right? So yes, in a way it is, right? And but you can see here, it's kind of like your volume shelf, right? Is what is the term they pretty much made up for it right here. But yeah, so it's basically the exact same thing. It is using volume, which ends up being a little bit more important than time, but they both combined can be very, very interesting, right? So the market profile this is called the volume profile as opposed to the market profile. But we actually prefer volume. It tends to be a little bit more interesting. It gives us really, really great levels to trade against as well. So good stuff there. Yeah, so very, very similar. But I'm just trying to show you the basics where it all came from here this week. So good stuff. So Sean, what's going on? Good to see you. XPEV, let's take a look. So XPEV, yeah, hanging in there, right? So it's right at the 80-day and the 50-day moving average, kind of scrunched here between the cloud. I'd like to see a little bit of strength on it. Right now, I'm kind of looking at the sideways head and shoulders here. Here's your neckline right here at this geometric line. So if it breaks down below there, watch out below. You got these gaps here. In the meantime, I'm just waiting for some relative strength on it to see if it's ready to go. JMIA, upper shadow here off the ADMA today. Again, was hoping for a good close on it, just couldn't quite get there. Gave a little pop after hours and kind of back in again. So just watch that upper shadow there off the ADMA there. And then Samar, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Nvidia. Yeah, again, Nvidia, same stuff, right? So we're just waiting on this geometric breakout. It just hasn't been able to do it yet, right? So we're just waiting on that. What else? Nvidia, good stuff. Cortez, awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, so I mean, it's just a way of organizing data, right? But futures traders, market participants, they do look at it, right? It's important information. So good stuff there. Brandon, what's going on? NAKD is doing good. Nice. Okay, yeah. So it's doing pretty good right here. I guess what do they enter is like a SPAC or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, it's starting to get some good volume coming in here. Nice engulfing day today over the 200-day moving average. So let's see if that can give a push up here. Good stuff. Bob, PayPal. Let's take a look. Yeah, PayPal gave a little bit of a bounce here today, and then just kind of pulled back, kind of this doji, just kind of blah. Could be gearing up for a move. I like the recent little bit of a breakout right here. Let's wait and see if it can prove itself. PayPal's tricky. I always say it. It's one of the trickier ones there. And then Cortez, yeah, Nvidia. We just looked at that a couple times too. Hopefully you caught that one. So good stuff there. So Tracy, what's going on? Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at D-Dog. Yeah, so D-Dog, again, looking really similar to everything else, right? So it's starting to gear up right here, right? So nice little double doji right here, reversal, right? Instead of a doji sandwich down, it turned into a double doji reversal. And then got over the 50-day moving average. Nice strong close on Friday and good follow through today through that old geometric line. Now it's got to contend with this one, but a good bounce up there on D-Dog. Good D-Dog. And then you. Yeah, so Unity Software, again, this one's been pretty tricky. A couple breakdown candles. We'll see if it can get any fault. It's still below the 80 man, this one, and scrunch between the 50-day too. So it's gearing up here. Maybe it'll get a little bit tight and get ready for another move again. So good stuff there. John McKelly, what's going on? Let's take a look at Penn. Let's take a look. Yeah, so Penn with a big breakout again today, guys. We like this candle on Friday with the increased volume. It gave a little bit of a gap down, but wow, did they buy the dip on this one today. Patience, right? So here's a nice move right here. A little bit of a gap down this morning with the rest of the market, and then have a nice day. Rode the ADMA up all day today. So yeah, good strength on Penn. And again, I think more conversation from New York State's Cuomo, right, about legalizing gambling, things like that. DKNG, again, a great intraday move today. Still want to see it get over this geometric line, so it's not quite there yet. But a good intraday trade. It was on our bullish radar in the bubble report this morning. Home Depot here over the 50-day moving average starting to make a move. While I'm looking at, let's just take a look at low here real quick. Yeah, starting to grind its way up. I'd say a couple of these names are pretty tricky to trade these days. Just up, down, up, down, up, down. Makes it really tough on options. FedEx, again, a little bit of a green day today. Again, it's still bearish. We talked about it last night. Still below the geometric line. It's still below the ADMA on that one. So good stuff. Christian, what's going on? Good to see you. AMD, what a move today. Fresh all-time highs on AMD. So again, pretty nice bounce off the ADMA. A breakout candle right here. Today, generally pretty decent close. We'll see if we can get some follow through. It's pretty much on the bullish radar going into tomorrow as well with today's relative strength. PSTI, wow, yeah, big move on that one, Samar. Big push there today. It's kind of working its way up after hours. Again, it's got a big gap to fill here above, so let's see if that can try to push there for you. And then Snow. Yeah, so Cortez Snow, a little bit of a pullback here today. Again, I love this breakout candle right here. We got that nice gap up. Now I'm just waiting to see if it can show some relative strength again. Jim Akili, so you got Riley. Let's take a look. Yeah, so Riley looking kind of interesting. So B Riley, so it's looking a little bit kind of like flaggish up here again. It's really not very liquid name during the day, so just be careful with that one. But with shares, maybe you can try. Even the shares are kind of funky on it too, so just be careful to see if it breaks above those levels. So good stuff there. Jeffrey, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, we got two Jeffreys in a row. So Jeffrey, let's take a look here. So yeah, so on net. Again, we kind of looked at that a little bit earlier, but upper shadow here below the ADMA. Declining volume, but watch your geometric lines right here. See how that holds. Microsoft, Christian, let's take a look. Yeah, Mr. Softy, a little bit soft here today below the ADMA. Increased volume on it, too. A couple little pops after hours, so let's see how it goes again. It's still generally contained by this larger triangle right now, so we're just kind of chopping around that mess. So we got that going on. Ryan, what's going on? Spotify, let's take a look here. Yeah, big breakout candle the other day. Nice close here this day. And again, like dual breakout candles that gave you a pause day here today. So this is definitely one to keep on the radar. Let's see how it goes. And then PLTR. Let me add, I need to put spot on my, give me 1 second, guys. I need to add this to my watch list here. I really like those candles on it. Okay, cool. And then PLTR. Yeah, so let's see. So PLTR, again, nice bullish engulfing candle pretty much here today. So again, it's on my bullish radar right here. I'm just looking for some impulsive strength on it. Jeffrey, yeah, so let's see. FLGT. Yes, a full gen. Again, kind of a tricky little day today. Inside day upper shadow here, kind of holding the ADMA. See if that holds there. Maybe it'll consolidate and try to take the inside day up. And Jeffrey, Walmart. Beautiful, right? So, Paul and I talked about it last night on the live stream. Paul had this really complex corrective count on it, and was bullish today. We put in the bubble report this morning. It gave a nice dip by today. I thought it was good, but it still ended up holding up where it was. So here's your wave 1, wave 2, possible wave 3 after hours. We'll see if we get a little 4 pullback throughout the morning, and they give us a wave 5 up on Walmart. They had some good news after hours on doing this fintech startup type thing. So good stuff there in Creighton. Yeah, twist. Let's twist again. So yeah, a couple people have been asking about this one. So decent push up there, right? Some huge dip by today on this thing. Huge dip by today for a nice move on that. And then a fresh push to highs on that one. So again, pretty wild name on that. And then skills to pay the bills. Again, a nice push up here today as well. Would like to have closed a little bit stronger without such an upper shadow. Kind of closed below that guy right there. But we'll see if we can get any more strength on it. Again, it's been pretty hot recently. And then Ice Baby, let's take a look. Nice push to the up there too. Again, fresh highs on that one for a pretty strong move in the morning. And then kind of a nasty pullback there, leaving the upper shadow there on the day. So good stuff there. And then Tracy, you've also got SM. Let's take a look. So SM, nice engulfing down that way. Again, energy names were strong today. Again. And then Shopify. Yeah, Shopify with the Dropify later. So it gave a good push at the open, right? Relative strength this morning, and then just kind of reverse off. The same thing with Nvidia. So we'll see how it holds right there, but it is still over the ADMA on that one. Cherry, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla. So Tesla again, guys. Again, it's pushing really hard right here, and then folks got caught there over the weekend with the gap down today, and then it went for the gap fill. So this actually could be bullish for it, right? So again, don't forget it's with the S&P too, and the S&P was down now, so kind of followed that today without any real news on Tesla. But it's holding these levels right here, filled the gap. It's got a couple other gaps below, but just kind of track the ADMA, see how it holds that, on the way up, and if it can hold that, consolidate, maybe give another move back up. So good stuff there. Yeah, Jim, I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Well, good stuff, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed learning some of the basics there of market profile. We'll be talking a little bit more about market profile this week and going through some of strategies and concepts. And so hopefully you guys found that helpful. Oh, Daniel, you got one out there. Neo, let's take a look. Yeah, Neo with a nasty upper shadow there, right? So we get a big gap up today. We're hoping for the gap fill. We talked about this in the bubble report today. We weren't really confident with it. We're like, if it can't get over these highs with any sort of strength, which it didn't, right? Look for a reversal, right? We got a big reversal right there. I think they did an offering after hours as well. Seems to be up on that news a little bit, right? So just from this low right here, it's kind of coming up to the 618 retrace. So see how that holds in tomorrow, but if it gets bullish in tomorrow, it might try to, a lot of folks probably try to short that into the close. So if it ends up squeezing it out, watch Neo to make another move up too, a little baby Tesla move. So good stuff. All right, guys. Well, good stuff. Well, thanks for the questions and the chart requests. I hope everybody found this helpful. And if you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. If you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. And be sure to hit the notification button so you can see when we post our videos throughout the day. We do different market analyses and all that. So really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope everybody has a great night. We'll see you guys bright and early for the bubble report for bubble report members and elite access members. We'll see you guys in the streams. And even if you're just in the public Twitter with us, we'll see you guys. And here on YouTube, we'll see you guys in the Good Morning Market Prep video. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll